Previous class we discussed about the male genital system of the cattle. It comprised of primary sex organ, that is testis, secondary sex organ that included vas deferens, epididymis, and penis, and accessory sex gland which included prostate, bulbourethral gland, and some anal vesicles. Okay, so we discussed how the testicles are descend down and situated in the scrotum, part of the scrotum, structure of the testis, then vas deferens, spermatic cord, and the seminal vesicle. Is it clear to all of you? In this picture, you can see the presence of parietal tunica vaginalis that is completely reflect over from the testis. Okay, and the visceral tunica vaginalis, which is adhere with the parenchyma, this other layers of testis. In between this parietal tunica vaginalis and visceral tunica vaginalis, space is present that known as vaginal sac or tunica vaginalis sac. In vaginalis layer, you will find the tunica albuginea. The same two layers you will find in case of female genital system, but the arrangement is differ. Okay, so tunica vaginalis, and here you will find the mediastinum testis. In the mediastinum, you find the straight ducts of seminiferous tubule, and these straight ducts of seminiferous tubule form the rete testis in the mediastinum, and from these rete testis, vas efferentia, small ductules move toward the head of the epididymis, and this vas efferentia united to form a single duct that known as duct of epididymis and continue in the head, body, and tail part of the epididymis. Here you can see the arrangement of epididymis. This is the caput part of the epididymis, that means the head. This portion is body, and this is the tail. So it's situated at the cranial aspect as well as caudal aspect. Extend from the cranial to caudal aspect, caudal end of testis. Or from the proximal to distal end on the caudal border. Okay, so the epididymis is situated at the caudal border of the testis, extend from the proximal to the distal end, and on the proximal end you will find the head, and on the distal end you will find the tail of the epididymis. Clear? Have you heard about the Pampiniform plexus? Have you heard about the Pampiniform plexus?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Pampiniform plexus are the veins or the bunch of the veins, plexus of the veins surround the spermatic artery, and this plexus of the vein help to reduce the temperature of the blood. वेन में क्या है, ब्लड ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है और आर्टरी में ब्लड नीचे आएगा. सो आर्टरी का जो ब्लड है दैट इज एट बॉडी टेम्परेचर and the test is situated outside the body, so they are having temperature less than the body temperature. So to reduce the temperature of the blood present in the artery, the Pampiniform plexus is surround the blood vessel. So Pampiniform plexus is formed by the veins, plexus of veins that situated around the spermatic artery in the spermatic cord. Clear? Pampani venous plexus. Okay. Here you can see in the live condition how you will find the spermatic cord. Okay. When we go with the live condition, how you will find the spermatic cord. Here you can see the presence of testis. Okay, this is testis, and when you cut the spermatic cord, you will clearly see the two bundles of spermatic present in the spermatic cord. This one is cranial bundle, and this one is caudal bundle. Okay, in cranial bundle, what structure you will find?
Spermatic artery, vein, lymphatics, cremasteric internus muscle.
Okay, so this structure you will find in the cranial bundle. Here you can see the presence of cremaster muscle, and this blood vessels, and surrounding the bluish appearance of the vein, surrounded by the vein that create the Pampaniform plexus, and in the caudal bundle you will find the presence of vas deferens. Okay. In previous class we discussed about the gland also. 3 glands are present in the male genital system. However, the number and appearance of these glands varies as per the species. Okay? The number is variable as per the species. Here you can see the seminal vesicle in case of bull. All 3 glands are present in case of bull: seminal vesicle, prostate, and bulbourethra. And this is the arrangement of these glands. And here you can see the dilated end of the vas deferens, that known as ampulla. Okay, so this dilated structure of the vas deferens is known as ampulla, and here you can see that in case of equine, the ampulla are situated more cranial to the seminal part of the ampulla is and come under the seminal vesicle gland or vesicular gland. This seminal vesicle is also known as vesicular gland. Okay, because these are lobulated and elongated gland, and these glands situated at the caudo-dorsal aspect of the bladder, and these glands comes in contact with the rectum, which we see in the other diagram. When we see the topographical position, we see there is the presence of rectum, and the seminal vesicle comes situated ventral to the rectum and dorsal to the if the seminal vesicle is situated ventral to the rectum and it is situated dorsal to the urinary bladder. Yes. Okay, so the gland is situated dorsal to the urinary bladder and ventral to the rectum, and when we define in terms of gland, then it is related dorsally with the rectum and ventrally with the urinary bladder. Clear? चीज एक ही है लेकिन इसको बोलने का तरीके अलग अलग. It is related dorsally with the rectum and ventrally with the urinary bladder. ठीक. और अगर ग्लैंड के बारे में हम बता रहे हैं तो वेंट्रल टू द रेक्टम, ग्लैंड इज सिचुएटेड वेंट्रल टू द रेक्टम एंड डॉर्सल टू द यूरिनरी ब्लैडर. दोनों चीजें सही हैं, हम इसे दोनों तरीके से बोल सकते हैं. अगर हम ग्लैंड के पर्सपेक्टिव में बोल रहे हैं, हम ग्लैंड को डिफाइन कर रहे हैं, ग्लैंड के रिलेशनशिप बता रहे हैं, तो डॉर्सली इट रिलेटेड विद द रेक्टम एंड वेंट्रली इट रिलेटेड विद द यूरिनरी ब्लैडर. और अगर हम उसकी टोपोग्राफिकल पोजीशन डिफाइन कर रहे हैं, दैट मींस हम बोलेंगे कि इट इज सिचुएटेड डॉर्सल टू द रेक्टम, वेंट्रल टू द डॉर्सल टू द यूरिनरी ब्लैडर एंड वेंट्रल टू द रेक्टम. क्लियर? किसी को इसमें कंफ्यूजन तो नहीं हुआ? Okay, so this gland is open on either side of the colliculus seminis. That much we discussed in the previous class. The next gland of discussion is prostate. This is a fibromuscular gland and it is situated at the neck of the urinary bladder, and it also demarks the beginning of the urethra. It composed of glandular alveoli. Lobulation in case of cattle is not very much distinct. Okay, here you can see a just single bundle of the this glandular tissue, and here you can see the clear-cut separation of the lobulation. When we discuss species variation, you can see that in case of horse, the prostate gland is clearly divided into two lobes connected by an isthmus, but in case of cattle, the lobulation is not very much distinct. Its dorsal surface is related with the rectum and the ventral surface is related with the neck of the bladder and the urethra. And it is drained by the number of multiple glands, number of multiple ducts into the urethra behind the colliculus seminis. सेमिनल वेसिकल की कितनी डक्ट होती हैं? Seminal vesicle gland is open, single duct. ठीक है, while the prostate gland is open by a number of prostatic duct behind the colliculus seminis into the, okay. And third gland is bulbourethral gland, and these are clearly two glands situated on either side of the dorsal part of the urethra at the level of ischiatic arch under the covering of layer of fibrous tissue. Each gland is composed of several lobules and single duct open into the urethra on the dorsal wall within the fold of mucous membrane. So here you can see the clear-cut separate two arrangement of bulbourethral gland. Clear? And at the level of ischiatic arch, where you will find the ischiatic arch? How the ischiatic arch is formed? How the ischiatic arch is formed?
It is formed by the caudal border of ischiatic bone.
It is formed by the caudal border of ischiatic bone. Okay? So at the level of ischiatic arch, you will find the presence of these bulbourethral gland. The position of the ischiatic arch is very much clear because it is also related with the penis. Okay. So this is about the glands. Single duct is open into the urethra, and this is about the gland of the present in case of bull. Bulbourethral is named because it is situated at the urethra and it gives a bulb-like appearance, oval appearance, and that's why it named as bulbourethral gland. Seminal vesicle is named because this gland gives the appearance as a vesicles. How we define the vesicle? How we can define the vesicle? A sac-like structure. So seminal vesicle gives the appearance like a vesicle. That's why these gland named as vesicle, containing the semen, containing the secretion which enhance the semen quality or provide the nutrients to the sperm. So this add to the semen. This secretion of these glands add to the semen. That's why these glands known as seminal vesicle. Okay, secretion of these glands add to the semen, provide named as seminal vesicle. Okay, the next structure is urethra. You can see the complete genital tract of the bull. Okay, in this picture you can see the complete genital tract of the bull. That much we studied: testicles, spermatic cord, vas deferens, and these vas deferens passes over the urinary bladder, opens into the urethra on each side of the colliculus seminis, and here you can see the extension of urethra. That much urethra is very much clear, and beyond that you are not very much clear about the urethra. Okay, so urinary bladder कहाँ situated होता है? What is the topographical position of urinary bladder? Topographical position of urinary bladder.
And floor of pelvic cavity.
Floor of the pelvic cavity. ठीक है? And at the neck of the urinary bladder you see the extension of the urethra. Okay, so this is the tube which extends from the neck of the bladder to the glans penis. When we discuss about the penis, we discuss about the glans penis. So this is a tube-like structure which extends from the neck of the urinary bladder to the glans penis. Okay, that's why it has two part. एक पार्ट तो ये हमको क्लियर दिखाई दे रहा है और दूसरा पार्ट यहाँ नहीं दिख रहा है. दिस इज द पार्ट ऑफ द, दिस इज द पेनिस. ठीक है, ये पेनिस है और यहाँ हमको एक पार्ट क्लियर दिखाई दे रहा है एंड सेकेंड पार्ट गेट इनकॉर्पोरेटेड इनटू द पेनिस. That's why urethra consists of two parts. That is, the first one is pelvic part and second one is penile. Floor of the pelvic cavity is known as pelvic part, and the part which incorporated into the penis is known as penile part. Okay, so this serve as a common passage for the urine and the semen. Okay, the pelvic part lies along the middle of the pelvic floor. It reaches at the ischial arch, bend downwards and get continue with the penile part. On the ventral and lateral part, you will find a presence of muscle that known as urethralis muscle. Here you can see the urethralis muscle. Okay, at the ventral and lateral wall, urethralis muscle is present, and dorsal part is formed by the aponeurosis of urethral muscle. The penile part passes forward and downward between the roots of the corpus cavernosum. Here you can see the presence of urethra. This is the cross section of penis. When it comes under the penis and continue as a penile part, at that time in cross section you will find this kind of image. When we discuss about the penis, we discuss that penis is formed by the corpus cavernosum. Two bodies formed by the corpus cavernosum, two bodies of corpus cavernosum, and here you will find the corpus spongiosum on the ventral part. Urethra is supported by the corpus spongiosum. So when we talk about the penile part of the urethra, it is situated between the roots of the corpus cavernosum penis, surrounded by the corpus cavernosum urethrae, that also known as corpus spongiosum. Okay, corpus cavernosum urethrae, that also known as corpus spongiosum, glans penis. Okay, in glans it opens at the external urethral orifice. Okay, when we talk about its pelvic part, you will find the presence of colliculus seminis. that is a small elongated or oval eminence present at the dorsal wall of the urethra. And when it reaches to the penile part, here also it show a dilatation or enlargement that known as bulbous urethra. At this level, you will find the enlargement or dilatation when it gets incorporated into the penis, that known as bulbous urethra. Okay. Which is an elongated prominence extend from the colliculus seminalis to the neck of the bladder in the midline of the dorsal wall. Okay, so you will find three structure when we discuss about the urethra. First, it extends from the neck of the urinary bladder, passes to the pelvic, passes from the pelvic cavity, reaches to the penis and got incorporated into the penis. So run on the ventral as a penile part of urethra. Here you will find the presence of colliculus seminalis, and here you will find the presence of bulbous urethra. Okay, that much is clear. Clear? समझ में आ रहा है? पिक्चर दिख रही है?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the cranial side, okay. And this one is caudal side where you will find the ischial arch. Okay. This is the urinary bladder. ठीक है. अब urinary bladder, this one is neck of the urinary bladder. ठीक है. From the neck of the urinary bladder, urethra will continue. Okay, which extend in this manner. At the urethra, you will find here colliculus seminalis. Colliculus seminalis. Okay, that much is clear. On the ventral aspect as well as on the lateral aspect, you will find the muscle that is urethralis. ठीक, धीरे धीरे कवर होता जा रहा है ये. And the part which rests over the floor of the pelvic cavity is known as pelvic part of urethra. Okay, this portion is known as pelvic part of urethra. And when we see in a live condition, जो अभी हम presentation पे दिख रहा है, at that time you will find this portion is covered by the seminal vesicle. Here you will find the prostate gland. And at this level you will find the bulbourethral gland. ठीक है, तो ये पोर्शन कवर हो गया. ठीक, clear? This is about the pelvic part of the urethra. The penile part get incorporated into two crurae of penis, which started at the ischial arch. ठीक, and these two crurae or these two bodies is form corpus cavernosum penis at the dorsal aspect of urethra. ठीक है, डॉर्सल एस्पेक्ट पे पेनिस का पार्ट जो है वो उसको कवर करेगा कॉर्पस कैवर्नोसम. अब ये वेंट्रल एस्पेक्ट पे चल रहा है यूरेथ्रा, एंड वेंट्रली दिस urethra is supported by the corpus spongiosum or corpus cavernosum urethrae. That's why when we go with the cross section, आता है ना,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the meaning of cross section? What is the meaning of cross section? तो जब तक टर्म नहीं पता होगी मगर रेक्टिफिकेशन के लिए ठीक है, लेकिन उस चीज को समझना जरूरी है. What do you mean by the cross section? देखो, हम किसी भी स्ट्रक्चर को, ये दिखाई दे रहा है, किसी भी स्ट्रक्चर को इस तरीके से कट कर सकते हैं at its longitudinal axis, that known as longitudinal section. ठीक, और at its transverse axis, that known as transverse section. ठीक है. And when we cut a tube-like structure at in circumference on its transverse axis, we completely cut a tube-like structure. That structure is that section is known as cross section. अगर मैंने इस ट्यूब को इसकी पूरी सर्कमफ्रेंस में उसके ट्रांसवर्स एक्सिस पे कट किया है और उसके बाद मुझे जो सेक्शन मिल रहा है, that is cross section. Clear? So this cross section give you the overview about the structure present at that within that tube. उस ट्यूब के अंदर क्या है. अभी हमें यहाँ ऊपर जो प्रेजेंटेशन में दिखाई दे रही है वो क्या दिखाई दे रही है, एक ट्यूब दिख रही है यहाँ पर. दिख रही है कि नहीं दिख रही है बच्चों, कुछ तो बोलो. Here you can see a tube, and this, when you cut this tube, you will find a cross section which gives the inner view. And in inner view, you will find two bodies of corpus cavernosum panis. Two bodies of corpus cavernosum panis, and on the ventral aspect you will find a tube of urethra, and it is supported on ventral aspect by the corpus spongiosum or corpus cavernosum urethrae. Okay? अगर आपने किसी ट्यूब को काटा है और वो होलो स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, that is made up of bundles, तो ये स्ट्रक्चर दिखाई देगा. At the dorsal aspect you will find the corpus cavernosum panis. At the ventral aspect you will find the corpus spongiosum, and this corpus spongiosum supported the tube of urethra at its ventral aspect. Clear? That much is clear. So urethra extend from the urinary bladder to the glans penis. On the part of the urethra present over the floor of the pelvic cavity known as pelvic urethra, and the part which get incorporated into the penis is known as penile urethra. Clear? Here you will find the presence of colliculus seminalis, and at its penile part it get dilated or it get bulged, that known as bulbous urethra. Okay? As soon as it get incorporated into the penis, here you will see the bulging over the ischial arch, that known as bulbous urethra. The next structure is penis. Okay, here you can see the penis, which extend from the ischial arch and comprised of three parts: root, body, and the glans penis. Root, body, and glans. Okay, and the root begin from the ischial arch and at this portion the urethra get incorporated into two crura, and these crurae arised from the ischial lateral aspect of ischial arch, made up of erectile tissue. made up of erectile tissue, and this at this level it is also covered by ischiocavernosus muscle. This muscle is also known as erector penis muscle. Here you can see the landmark IM, ischiocavernosus muscle. So at the level of ischial arch, you will find the ischiocavernosus muscle, which extend from the tuber ischii. This muscle originate from the tuber ischii and passes to the crush and body of the penis. That's why you are seeing it here. The origin point is not visible, but you can see the insertion point at the crush of the penis as well as some part of the body of the penis. Is formed by the erectile tissue, two crurae, and these two crurae originate from the lateral aspect of the ischial arch and covered by the muscle, that is the erector penis or ischiocavernosus muscle. Its name depicted its origin as well as its insertion. Ischiocavernosus, that volume or that body of the penis. ठीक है, तो ischiocavernosus muscle. The body, the remaining portion, root portion is situated at the ischial arch, and the remaining portion from the root to the glans is known as body. Here you can see the body. Okay, it is the largest part of the organ, and here also you can see a presence of S-like structure, S-shaped curved. This portion is known as sigmoid flexure. Okay, flexure term is used for the curve and it is S-shaped, that's why it named as sigmoid flexure. And sigmoid flexure is present in case of bull and in case of boar, as we see, but it is absent in case of equine because there is presence of much elastic tissue in comparison to bull. So to lengthen the penis, body में उसको properly arrange करने के लिए, this sigmoid flexure arrangement to accommodate the length of the penis, the sigmoid flexure is present in case of bull and boar. In case of bull, is present post to the scrotum. That's why it named as post scrotal sigmoid flexure. Okay, post scrotal sigmoid flexure. Then the cord, as you can see here, it is passes between the two spermatic cord. And the base of the
मैम
क्या
कैसा नहीं दिख रहा है?
अब दिखाई दे रहा है?
यस मैम.
So this is the sigmoid flexure. S-shaped curvature is present, that known as sigmoid flexure. In case of bull, the sigmoid flexure is situated post to the scrotum. That's why it's known as post scrotal sigmoid flexure. Then the penis is passes between the two spermatic cord. Along the midline of the ventral abdominal wall, and then continue as a glans within the prepuce. Prepuce is a specific skin fold that holds the distal end of the penis. Okay. The body of the penis is formed by the bulky muscle, that is the corpus cavernosum penis and the corpus cavernosum urethrae or corpus spongiosum penis. Okay. And at the corpus spongiosum penis, you will find a groove that known as urethral groove, over which urethra is situated. Here you can see the groove-like structure that known as urethral groove, which give accommodation to the urethra. And this urethra is surrounded by the corpus cavernosum dorsally and the corpus spongiosum ventrally. The penis is surrounded by the tunica albuginea. These corpus bodies, corpus term is used for the body, and these bundles are surrounded by the tunica albuginea, which gives the trabeculae or septae inside the muscle. These septae are formed of the fibroelastic or the smooth muscle fibers. Boundaries of cavernous spaces. The structure of both corpus cavernosum urethrae and corpus cavernosum penis is similar. In case of bull, the erectile tissue is less than the mare and dog. Okay, so the spaces are created in the corpus cavernosum penis for the erectile tissue, and the arrangement of blood vessel is in such manner that it allows the passage of blood in these spaces to relax the penis and hold the blood in normal condition. The blood is present in the vessels. The blood vessel which present in this area is known as Helisen arteries, and in normal condition the blood is present within these arteries. But when there is erection of these arteries, when there is erection of penis, the blood from these arteries passes into the cavernous spaces. The next structure is glans penis. Root हो गया, body हो गई. Then next part is glans penis. It is the free conical end of the penis, and it is slightly twisted, present a groove at the tip, and at the end of this groove you will find the external urethral orifice. The free portion of penis is covered by the cutaneous pouch, which extend from the scrotum to the umbilicus, known as prepuce. In sheep and goat, you will find that the part of the urethra is extend from the glans, while in case of bull, you will find a presence of external urethral orifice at its end of the groove of the glans penis. Okay, so this is about the root, body, and the glans penis of the penis. And this penis is supported by the 2 or 3 muscles. Here you see the ischiocavernosus muscle. Another muscle is retractor penis muscle. This retractor penis muscle insertion of the retractor penis muscle on the second curvature of the sigmoid flexor. Okay, so the muscle is passes and it terminates at the lateral aspect of the body of the penis at the second curve of the sigmoid flexor. The fibers is passes in somewhat V-shaped appearance. On both lateral aspect you will see the presence of retractor penis muscle. Okay, that's why the fibers of retractor penis passes between the layer of bulbospongiosus muscle and form a bundle of muscle on either side. Okay, that's why you can see the termination on the lateral aspect of the second flexor of the penis. So here you see two muscle, ischiocavernosus and second one is retractor penis muscle. The third one is bulbospongiosus. That is a continuation of urethralis muscle. The urethralis muscle, which is present in the pelvic part of the urethra, is continue as a bulbospongiosus muscle in penile part. It extends from the ischial arch to the glans penis. It extends from the ischial arch to the glans penis. So this is about the penis of bull. Is there any doubt? Any confusion? Free part of the penis, and there is urethral process. This is the glans penis, and here you can see the presence of urethral process. Where you will find the external urethral orifice. And this portion remains covered by the prepuce. Here you can see the contracted or retracted prepuce. जब हम prepuce को reflect करेंगे, at that time you can see the glans penis. Okay, so that much is clear to all of you. Now come to the male genital system of horse. The scrotum is short and oval, and here you will see the color of the scrotum as black. The other thing which is under consideration is the axis of the scrotum. Here you can see that the axis or the vertical axis of the testis is not present. Sorry, long axis of the testis is not present vertically. It is somewhat oblique in appearance. In case of cattle, you see that the longitudinal is extended vertically, while in case of horse, you can see that the axis is not vertically placed, it is somewhat oblique. So the longitudinal axis of testicle is somewhat oblique, as well as you can see the topographical position of the scrotum and testis. As in case of cattle, it is situated in the caudodorsal aspect, caudal part of the abdominal wall, and here you can see that it is more caudally situated. Testis and scrotum are more caudally situated in comparison to cattle. Okay, difference is not related with any border of the testicles. Now come to the glands. In the testis, you will not find the presence of mediastinum testis. Mediastinum testis is not well developed. Mediastinum testis is absent in case of horse. Okay, when we come to the glands, here you can see the glands. The seminal vesicle are in the form of elongated sac, and it comprised of a fundus, body and neck. Fundus is the cranial blind and is known as fundus. Here you can see the middle portion body, and the neck which open at the neck which is open at the urethra. In case of prostate, you can see the two lobes are clearly present. Bulbourethral glands are also larger. Penis is comparatively short. Here you can see the extension of penis from the prepusal orifice. Penis जो है वो थोड़ा डिफर करता है इन स्ट्रक्चर फ्रॉम द बुल बिकॉज इट इज इरेक्टाइल पेनिस. इट हैज वेरी मच इरेक्टाइल टिश्यू इन कंपैरिजन टू कैटल. सो वहां पर लेंथ कंपनसेट होती है, लेंथ compensated by the presence of sigmoid flexure in case of bull, but here the erectile tissue is much more present. That's why the erection length is maintained. At the time of erection, the penis can be lengthened with the help of erectile tissue. Okay, so here you can see some difference in the penis of cattle and bull and stallion. In case of bull, you see the presence of sigmoid flexure. Sigmoid flexure is absent in case of stallion. You will find numerous trabeculae and erectile tissue. At the base here, at the base of the penis, at the base of the glans, you will find the corona glandis. This portion is corona glandis, which you can see here. Here you find a border. This border depicted the corona glandis. Urethral process. This is the urethral process or the opening of the urethra, and it is situated at the fossa glandis. Okay, urethral process is situated surrounded by a circular fossa known as urethral sinus, and this urethral sinus is situated at the fossa glandis. This portion is fossa glandis. Here you can see the arrangement of the prepuce. This portion is prepucial orifice. Okay, this is the external laminae. An external laminae and internal laminae is further divided into two parts, into two layers. Lining, you will find the two extension, external and internal. Okay, so this portion is prepucial orifice. From this portion to this portion, you will find the prepucial orifice, and this area form the prepucial ring. And inside the prepucial ring, at the glans, you will find the urethral process situated at the fossa glandis. Here you can see the presence of fossa glandis. And the border which limit the glans penis is known as corona glandis. Clear? Corona glandis, and it is situated, urethral process is situated at the fossa glandis, and these are the lamellae of prepuce. Okay. You can see there the presence of internal and external lamina of external fold and the internal and external lamina of internal fold. The prepuce has got two folds. Internal lamina के भी दो folds, external lamina के भी दो folds, and here you see the depression that fossa glandis and urethral orifice is present, or urethral process is the projected end of the urethra which is situated at the fossa glandis, and the glans penis is limited by a border that known as corona glandis. As you can see here that there is prepucial orifice, the external prepucial lamina. Here the prepucial ring is formed. The internal prepucial lamina जो हम अभी बात कर रहे थे. Okay, and this is the free portion. This portion is glans. This is the corona glandis. Here you can see the attachment of the internal prepucial lamina. एंड एक्सटर्नल प्रोफ्यूजल लेमिना। जो प्रोफ्यूज का स्ट्रक्चर है वहां पर हमें लेमिनेटेड एरिया मिलेगा या लेयर वाइज एरिया मिलेगा। तो एक्सटर्नल प्रोफ्यूजल लेमिना एंड इंटरनल प्रोफ्यूजल लेमिना मिलेगी। Pre portion of the penile body, and here you can see the presence of glans penis. Clear? Male genital organ of dog. Here you can see that the scrotum is situated just below the anus. Topographical position of scrotum जो है वो vary करता जा रहा है, ठीक है? The scrotum is situated below the anus. Scrotum is oval in shape, brown or black in color. Testicles are present in oblique direction. Mediastinum testis is present. Epididymis is large. Glands में सिर्फ prostate gland is present. Seminal vesicle gland is absent. Bulbourethral gland is absent. Only prostate gland is present, which you can see in this slide. Only prostate glands are present, and these glands are very well developed. Two lobes of these glands are distinct. They are situated at the level on the pelvic inlet. Around the junction of neck of the bladder and the beginning of the urethra. Seminal vesicle की जो topographical position थी, so in case of dog only prostate gland is present, so it occupied much larger area than other species, and it surround the junction of the neck of the bladder, urethra, and it opens with multiple ducts from each of the lobes. In case of dog, you will not find the sigmoid flexure, and at the penis you will find a bone that known as os penis. Os penis, and it is supposed that the part of the corpus cavernosum penis is ossified to form the bone. External urethral orifice is present at the tip of the glans, and at the distal end of the glans you will find an enlarged area that known as bulbus glandis. At the caudal part of the glans you will find the enlarged area that known as bulbus glandis. The next species is here also you can see the topographical position of the scrotum. It is situated below the anus and it is directed in a backward direction. Spermatic cord is comparatively larger, cremaster muscle is well developed, and you can see the presence of sigmoid flexure, and this sigmoid flexure is named as prescrotal sigmoid flexure. And here you can see the cranial part of penis is twisted. When we talk about the gland, you can see the seminal vesicles are large and cover the caudal part of the bladder as well as ureter. So this gland is extended more cranially in comparison to other species. Okay, so it covers the caudal part of the bladder and ureters. Prostate is similar to the cattle, but Copper's gland, bulbourethral glands are very much large elongated and placed on either side of the dorsolateral aspect of the pelvic urethra. Here you can see the presence of large Copper's gland or bulbourethral gland. Bulbourethral gland is also named as Copper's gland. Okay. In case of pig, a prepucial diverticulum is present. Prepucial diverticulum is present, which is present in the prepuce, just above the orifice of prepuce. A blind pouch is present that known as prepucial diverticulum. In case of fowl, testicles are present, situated in the on either side of the midline of the sublumbar region in the abdomen. These are oval or vein-shaped structure, yellowish in color. In mature bird, you can easily recognize the presence of testis by its color. It is yellow in color. Left one is larger than the right one. Epididymis is elongated and present on the dorsomedial aspect of the testis. And from this epididymis, the vas deferens is running, and it is very tortuous structure placed medial to the corresponding ureter. Here you can see the presence of different duct or vas deferens, which is tortuous structure. Open at the dorsal wall of the cloaca along with the ureter. Ureter open होते हैं urodium पे. Along with the ureter, the vas deferens is also open at the urodium. Instead of penis, there is copulatory apparatus is present in case of fowl, situated at the caudal end of the cloaca, comprises of vas deferens, two vascular bodies, and two lymphatic folds. Okay, so that's all about the male genital system in case of bull and the differentiating features in others. And if there is no doubt, that's all for today's class. In the next class, we will continue with the female genital system. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.